All right, so here we are, ready to get started. We're going to choose the QuickBooks version that we're going to use for QuickBooks Online. Now you can see that there are 3 versions currently shown in our QuickBooks Online plans. There is another version called Self-Employment. Unless you're just tracking your income and expenses, it's really not for everyone. So even if you are a sole proprietor, you still may want to use one of these other plans. There is the Simple Plan, Essentials, and then Plus. Now with your Simple Plan, you can see we can capture and organize receipts, we can track our sales tax, we can send estimates, run our basic reports, invoice and accept payments, track our income and expenses. Now, this is the bare minimum. In most cases, you at least want to move to the Essentials. Now, why do we want to move to the Essentials? Well, you can see with the Essentials, when we move down past all of the Simple, we now can manage our bills. When you're working, as most companies do, to the accrual-based accounting system, and you're not working to cash, and I'll explain that when we get to the accounting part, what that means, but for you, this is what this means right now. When you run your profit and loss, when you report your taxes at the end of the year, all of the bills that you owe, even if you have not paid them, will be part of your deductions. So it lowers the amount that you actually have on your profit and loss. Now you do have to add your bills in, but really important to do that. Now you can also see that we've added 2 more users. So we have up to 3 users that we can have working in our QuickBooks at one time. And now we can track our time. Now tracking your time is tracking it to bill customers, tracking it for yourself. Maybe you want to track your employees' time. So it gives you those options. When we move over into the Plus, you can see that this is going to give us up to 5 users. Now we can track our time as we could in the Essentials, but now we can also track our projects. If you're working on projects, you may want to use this feature to track all of your expenses, everything that's happening with your project. You could also track inventory. If you work with inventory, it is important to use Plus, because it is going to manage that inventory correctly for you. Managing your 1099 contractors. If you have 1099 contractors, this will manage it. And at the end of the year, it's a really nice feature. And what QuickBooks does is it even allows you to send that form, that W-9, to your contractors through email. They fill it out. It pre-fills it in QuickBooks. Then at the end of the year, you can create their 1099. So you can create that 1099 and actually send it to them via email and even file online. Now another feature that it's not showing here that QuickBooks does give you with the Plus is classes. It's the only way that you can add classes in. Now what are classes? Well, you're going to see that in depth whenever we do go into customizing your QuickBooks. But what classes actually do is if you've got departments or different streams of income, you can run reports and know exactly where that income has come from. Now you can see that QuickBooks right now is running a special and they're giving 50% off. And they change this from time to time. But if you do click over to the free trial, well, what's going to basically happen is you are not going to get that 50% off for 3 months. So it's going to go up to that price that is currently showing right here when the next month comes up. It's a good idea to go ahead and buy it now if you want to get that 3 months. Also, if you're working with an accountant that works with QuickBooks Online, or if you do want to go to our website, we also do offer wholesale prices in that. And our wholesale prices actually give you the ability to get this pricing for a little bit longer. So check that out. Now, once we decide what we're going to do, you can see we can also add in enhanced payroll or full service payroll. I do have another training that is coming out or is currently out. Check my page to see which that is. That has payroll training. So you will get full payroll training with that. Once you decide what to do, you're going to go ahead and buy it. It's going to ask you to fill in your information. It's basically just your tax identification number and all of the information you need. We're going to get started next on how to move around QuickBooks.